Hello everyone, Dino Don here with a follow-up from yesterday's video. I was going to try and get in a little more recording yesterday, but my day got cut short, so I just wanted to give a quick explanation if people had watched the last video, didn't read the description as to what went on. After I got done with that video and I stopped it, I was intending on going a little more, but what happened was I found out that my microphone wasn't working. I could hear everything that was going on. When I hit the push to talk button on my stick, I could hear the activation of the radio, the light come on the radio showing that it's transmitting, but it wasn't transmitting any voice. So I decided with the traffic we had running around that day, it was best to just call it quits and put the plane away. Plus, you know, you get a little excited with this testing, so you have to stop, take a break. You can't go out and just do 2-3 hours of playing around. It physically will just tear you apart. So you got to stop, take a breather, take a rest, go over what you learned, and then when you're calmed down, go back out and try again. So I was pretty excited with the results of my tail wheel, which is working, I think, excellent. So I'm extremely pleased with that. It's doing exactly what I expect the plane to have handled like from the get-go. So now I'm way more comfortable. It's going to take a little bit more taxiing to get totally comfortable and make sure there isn't any little quirks here and there. But it can still turn around and bite you in the ass because it is a full swivel wheel. So what I've done today is I just hooked up my radio and tested it. It works fine, but I wasn't able to test the push to talk because of this. I just took it apart. And the reason for doing this, excuse me, for taking it out, is when the stick is full back, when I pull the stick all the way back for full elevator, that handle is literally touching my stomach. You know, it's right there in my stomach. So, you know, it's like clear back here when I'm sitting. So I can't adjust the push rods anymore. There's 3 separate push rods to go from the stick back. There's one that goes, it takes push-pull method and it goes back to a transfer bell crank, which reverses it from a pull to a push, and then there's an idler back here because there's 2 separate push rods going back to there. Well, those are adjusted as far as they can go out to give me full elevator up, and if I go any farther, then I'm getting into the zone where the rod ends are not going to be inserted in enough. And then the front ones are adjusted short, and they can't go any shorter, so I can't make it up there. So what I'm going to do, I'm taking this stick out to take it home so I can take out some of this bend in this stick. I'm going to shallow up that bend, so the offset from the stick handle to here, it's a pretty good offset as you can see. I'm going to shallow it up by bending this up straighter and bending that straighter, and it's going to tend to make it a little taller. If I have to, I can trim the top, but that's the goal. I'm just going to take this home and take some of these bends out to get this offset from, you know, maybe 6 inches down to 3 or 4 inches. From here to here is about a 6-inch span. So I'm going to shorten that up and get that stick out of my stomach. Everything works fine. It's not a problem. So that's just basically what I wanted to do. And I didn't get to say any thanks to everybody, so I had to take the floor panel out to make this access easy. But all I had to do is just pull one bolt out of there, take stick out, one bolt off the bottom of the stick that hooks to the push tube. Then I had to go in and unhook and plug all this, so some of it was all screwed into the looming. So no big deal. I'm just going to take it home, fix it, shorten it up, shorten up the offset, and bring it back down, put it back together. And I also want to let you know that this weekend is not looking good for testing. The temperature is going to take a dump after today. Today it's the same as the last 3 days, just beautiful sunny and a light breeze today, a little more breeze today than yesterday. But it's way, today I can't do it. I'm hard pressed to get out of here, get home, and go to work. I got to work these next 3 afternoons, so I can't do anything. And then after tomorrow, the weather's going to turn to crap, drop into the low, mid-50s for a high, and then just calling for rain and thunderstorms all weekend. So I may or may not. At the very least, I can come down if it's rain or shine and put this all back together, retest my headset. But what turned out with my headset was the microphone, which I thought was bad. Turns out you can replace these. There's just 2 little screws right there, and the microphone just unplugs, just like one of these plugs on these wirings. And I think what it was, I took it off. I had another headset at home that had the same mic on it, and I switched the mic and it started working. After I spent an hour troubleshooting all the wires from the adapter harness on the radio all the way to the headset, I had it all tore apart to ohm out all the wires, look for a broken wire, and that was all fine. And then when I found this, it was the last thing to check. I didn't even think that this come apart. Took that off, and the pins are right there exposed. I could have ohmed it all the way out through to the plug and saved me an hour of messing around. So I put the other one on, and it worked fine. And after I put a headset all back together, I was like, let me check something. So I took it off, put the original back on, because these screws, when they go in, they tighten on the pins on that connection. So I put the original one back on, and lo and behold, it's working. So it's got the original one on there. Plugged it back into the airplane, hooked it up the antenna, tested it, it's working fine. And I've got the spare one now back here, so if it ever acts up, I can swap it out real quick. I got the screwdriver, I can change it on site. So that's kind of where I'm at, folks. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff back in the car, head for home, take the stick with me, and leave everything else here, and get that done this weekend. I'll fix that up this weekend and come back down and at least put it back together. And if the weather does turn out to be decent enough, then I'll go out and do some more taxiing. So for now, that's going to do her. Just wanted to give you a follow-up. Like I said, that video, I kind of ended it quickly because I was expecting to do more, and it just wasn't going to be safe for me to be out there running up and down the runway with the traffic that was coming and going all day. So, all right, I appreciate all the comments that people have put on this last video, and thanks for all the congrats that you've been giving me and all the advice and recommendations and different things. So I'm going to go ahead and call it quits, get home, and get to work. So again, I always appreciate everyone taking the time to watch the videos and leaving comments, questions, and concerns, and I'll keep answering them as they come along, and they're popping in quite frequently. So I'm going to go ahead and close this thing up, and go home, folks. So expect to hear from me again this weekend. Not sure what day it'll be, Sunday, Monday, it's hard to say. Depends on when I get this all back together and if I have anything worth reporting. So that's going to do it, folks. Until the next one, this is Dino Don out.